Namaskar everyone, myself Fatima, an occupational therapist. Hope you are all well. Here I am going to give a short presentation on cranial nerves. Do you want to know about the basics of the cranial nerve? Let us discuss. Firstly, let's see the classification of nervous system. Nervous system is classified as the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. In brain, there are 12 pairs of cranial nerve and in spinal cord, there are 31 pairs of spinal nerve. In this video, we will learn about the 12 pairs of cranial nerve. Moving on to the next slide. So here are the 12 pairs of cranial nerve. The first cranial nerve, olfactory nerve, the second, optic nerve, the third cranial nerve, that is the oculomotor nerve, the fourth, cochlear nerve, the fifth, trigeminal nerve, the sixth cranial nerve, that is the abducens nerve, the seventh, facial nerve, the eighth, vestibulocochlear nerve, the ninth cranial nerve, that is the glossopharyngeal nerve, the 10th vagus nerve, the 11th spinal accessory nerve, and the last one, that is the 12th cranial nerve, hypoglossal nerve. From where these nerves are originated? Cranial nerves originated from brainstem. The first four cranial nerves comes from midbrain, the next four from pons, and the last four from medulla oblongata. Take a look at this image. It's posterior inferior surface of the brain. So here in the midbrain from where the first four cranial nerves are originated, the pons from where the next four cranial nerves are originated, and the last four cranial nerves originated from medulla oblongata. Let's move on to the next slide. The first cranial nerve, that is the olfactory nerve. It's a sensory nerve. It's help in smelling of different senses like smell of flower, food, perfume, etc. I would now like to move on to the second cranial nerve, which is the optic nerve. It is also the sensory nerve. It helps in the transmission of visual stimuli from the environment to the brain. Now, I would like to look at the third, fourth, and sixth cranial nerve, that is the oculomotor, trochlear, and abducens nerve. These all are the motor nerve and it supplies the muscles of the eyeball. The oculomotor nerve supplies the inferior oblique muscles, superior rectus, inferior rectus, and medial rectus muscles. The cochlear nerve supplies the superior oblique muscles. The abducens nerve supplies the lateral rectus muscle. Let us come to the next slide. Cranial nerve 5, that is the trigeminal nerve. It is a mixed nerve as it has both sensory as well as motor function. It helps in the transmission of sensation from face through its three branches, that is ophthalmic, maxillary and mandibular branches, and its motor part supplies to the muscles of mastication, that is temporalis, masseter, lateral and medial pterygoid. Next, seventh cranial nerve, that is the facial nerve. It is a mixed nerve. Its sensory part supplies secretory gland of face, that is sublingual, submandibular, ear gland and anterior two-thirds of tongue. Motor part supplies to muscle for facial expression, that is frontalis, orbicularis oculi and orbicularis oris. Now, the eighth cranial nerve, that is the vestibulocochlear nerve. It is a sensory nerve. It helps to transmit sound and equilibrium information from inner ear to brain. Moving on to cranial nerve 9, that is the glossopharyngeal nerve. It is a mixed nerve. Its sensory parts supplied the parotid gland, pharynx, and posterior two-thirds of tongue. It helps in gag reflex. Next is the 10th cranial nerve, that is the vagus nerve. It is a mixed nerve. It supplies motor and sensory to many organs. It stimulates the rest and digest response. Now the 11th and 12th cranial nerve, that is the spinal accessory and the hypoglossal nerve. These both are the motor nerve. The cranial nerve 11 supplies to the sternocleidomastoid and the trapezius muscle, and the cranial nerve 12 supplies to the tongue.
This brings to the end of my presentation. Let me conclude my presentation. I have talked about the 12 pairs of cranial nerve, its origin from brainstem, its function, whether it is a sensory nerve, motor nerve or a mixed nerve. Thank you for watching. It's the end of my video. Hope you have enjoyed it. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.